Wow, I think the new generation of professionals in the built environment have a huge opportunity to change society. Must never underestimate the power that you have to actually implement something that changes not just one or two people's lives, not just a family's lives, but an entire community's life. I was relieved and inspired to hear during the talks that Cyril Ramaphosa had with the industry in terms of the infrastructure bill that they are planning, and that they are going to be focusing on rural areas and getting infrastructure working in rural areas. And I think that is going to be a huge opportunity to help people, because at the moment we have this sort of social disconnect of family structures. You know, there's economy that we can measure, money, and then there's the value that we have as people, as humans, in social connections. And family is one of those most important connections. When you don't provide services for rural people, and a man has to leave his house and go and live in a squatter camp, an urban area, to survive, you've robbed him birthright to have that family structure that has economic value to him. And the same is with, so creating rural areas that can support jobs, that can support livelihoods, that can support family connections, is going to be incredibly important for the next generation. And you're going to be able to implement that. So I'm hopeful that we're going in the right direction. There is so much red tape and corruption and dysfunctional municipalities. It's extremely challenging to get to the point where you can have social cohesion and real social justice. So that fight is going to be long, but it's going to be worth it.
Sure.
Can I just chip in?
We've got 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm glad you said we all have to do that, because many a times what we find is this, what apartheid created is this whole thing of inferiority, right, amongst Black people. So when something is very white or appreciated in the white community, then we think that's the right way of doing things. So we have this thing of transplanting things that are done in a certain community, and then we try to put them into a Black community or in another community where it won't work, because then we completely forget what that community is about. So I'm really glad you said that we should all check our biases, because we all fall short. We all have some level of privilege that we should all check, and we should just always remember the community. What is it that they like? I've seen nowadays the houses we built for people, for example, and especially now the whole rural development. We love our big pieces of land. So now we come in here with these different funny structures that people do not appreciate, and people actually do not stay there because that's not what they wanted. Or we built an open market because we don't like that the vendors are selling on the street, and you find that even with your market that you built, you will still find them on the street, because we've not gone to the people to ask them, do you want a market, and how do you want your market to be? So I think it's all of us. We have this whole beautiful idea of West is beautiful. So I think we all have to change that to really create the communities that we want and the communities that the community itself wants. Yeah.
Just to add to that, I think that the Western idea of having everything organized is just not African. You know, it's a little bit disorganized, it's vibrant, it's different. We got to chuck away those colonial ideas about what our neighborhoods should look like, what our communities should look like. We're not going to look like that, because we're not that. You know, and to quite a large extent, still, our town planning policies are underpinned by outdated colonial ideas. I was thinking today, you know, even the concept of having a single residential site, it's not in line with culture, because you know, now you must live on that site. Now you want your grandmother and your uncle and your aunt to come and live with you. You've got to rezone and go through all this expense. Why? You know, I want to start doing, you know, somebody loses their job and they want to start doing people's hair in the community. Now you can't do it because you're zoned residential and you're not business.